What is going on, everyone? My name is Underthread, and welcome back to the PPL Team Builders. Now, this week I'm going up against Schadt and the Bayern Mewnich. Fuck. Like, realistically, I'm always excited for the PPL games, but I'm facing Schadt, and his team is just disgustingly good. Like, let's just go ahead and go over. He had the first pick overall in the draft, which is pretty cool. And of course, we all knew he was going to take. Well, at least I knew he was going to take Mewnich overall. He has a bigger crush on Mewnich than he has a crush on me, so that says a lot about it. But his team is Mewnich, Crobat, Klefki, Thunderous Therian, Druddigan, Seismitoad, Skuntank, Porygon 2, and Megalopony. If we were to put Schadt as a Pokemon team, this would be the most shoddy of Shoddy's like a melody in my head of shoddy teams. No joke, like everything that Shoddy like has an orgasm over is on this team. And that's what makes me worry, because he knows how to use all this shit very well. So basically, this game, I'm kind of having to just go in with the best of hopes because I don't have a lot of hope for this game, honestly. He just has so many things. He is the one Pokemon that I'm worst at facing. Like, I realize everybody makes jokes out of it and that they all think that it's funny, but I realize that I have a massive problem facing Manaphy, whether it's Tail Glow, whether it's Calm Mind. Just even on the OU ladder and I come up against a Manaphy, I'm terrible against it. I freeze up against a Manaphy. I don't know why. He has my favorite Defogger in the format. He has my favorite Mega in the format, which is Megalop, and he also has one of my favorite Walls and Porygon 2. So his team is just so scary. I'm also really scared of Thunderous Therian, honestly, because there's no switch-ins to Thunderous Therian, like, at all. Druddigan is pretty spooky, and Skuntank is actually also really scary for my team. So the one thing I'm not too worried about, however, is Seismitoad. If there was one thing I'm like, yeah, this isn't coming, that's Seismitoad. Just because he has really no reason to bring it. I have an Amoonguss. It's one of the best walls for Seismitoad in my opinion, so yeah. He has so many other good things he could be bringing to the game. The first mon that I knew I wanted on the team was my Azumarill, because I totally didn't record this yesterday, and then I came up with a really meme set, and then added on to the team. And then I'm re-recording this, just one mon, and re-editing it in. So basically, on this team, I had Infernape first. Yeah, I had Infernape with Protect, Mach Punch, Fire Punch, and Close Combat. Protect to stop Fake Out Quick Attack from killing me, and all this other nonsense. And then I started to look at the team. I started to realize his walls are really scary. Calm Mind Manaphy is still a little scary for my team. And realistically, this thing is there for one purpose, and that is to get big damage off on the Megalopony. I had other ways in the Team Builder to do that, and which you guys will see much later, which I already recorded this, so I don't even know why I'm going into what you'll see later. You'll know what you'll see later because you'll see it later. And I was like, you know what? His walls are kind of sort of scary. I want to spam moves later on with a Pokemon that comes in later on in the Team Builder. And I was like, you know what? This Azumarill set just defecates all over his main walls that stop me from spamming moves. Running Perish Trap. I'm a cunt. Basically, my goal with this is to lead off with this. If he leads off with his Megalopony, I don't think he will, because I have so many checks to it on the team. He might not even bring it, if I'm just being honest. And if he leads off with his Klefki to get up spikes, then I'm going to Whirlpool at turn 1 and Perish Trap at turn 2. And I'm going to kill that thing. And then that allows me to spam Dragon moves with Garchomp with Spoiler. Garchomp's on the team. It allows me to spam EQ if he doesn't bring Thundy. Like, there's a lot of moves that I can now spam because of this thing. And that's awesome. I'm running Dive over Scald because memes. Why not? I get an extra turn of leftovers recovery, and it's fun, I guess. It literally makes no difference what that last move is. It could have been anything. If I don't go for Dive, I'm going to go for Whirlpool, Protect twice, and kill something, and then switch out, and then something dies. So that's my main plan with this thing, just to get his walls out of the way, basically. If he is a Porygon 2 with Download, he will get the attack raise because I'm specially defensive, because it goes as to whatever defense you switch in and get the Download on. Whatever defense is weakest, that's the attack that gets raised, so I don't have to worry about that with Thunderbolt. And unless he has a significant amount of special attack investment, it does not 3-hit KO me. And 3-hit KOing is important because if he can't 3-hit KO me, that means I can go for Whirlpool, Perish Song, and then Dive. And then that'll be fun because leftovers can't kill me and all this other nonsense. Then I can come up and protect and then be good to go and still get some good health on. Especially defensive just works out really well versus his team. Another thing that this does fantastically against is if he runs the exact Calm Mind Manaphy set that completely swept me last season, this beats it 1v1. Like, yeah, cool. He might see it coming and he can switch out, but this thing lives so many hits from so many things, and he doesn't want things like Thunderous taking continuous damage from Whirlpool and things of that nature. And I have other checks to Thunderous on the team. I made sure that I kept those checks because it would have been a massive threat if I took anything else off the team. So if he wants to start setting up Calm Minds with Scald, he'll get Perish Trapped. He will lose. He only has 3 turns, and if he wants to kill me, he has to be up to like plus 1400. Not really, but he has to be up to a lot of damage, and he really only gets off 2 attacks, depending on what he wants to be. If he runs U-turn, then that means he's not running another coverage move plus Tail Glow, which is amazing. So, all these amazing things that come into play with taking on just these 3 mons. And just those 3 mons can allow me to do so much to his entire team later on. It allows me to just really whittle him down, and that's what I'm praying to do, just to take out something instantly, like a wall that he's going to rely on heavily to take out, to handle Garchomp, to handle something like Choice Banded Azumarill, something like that. So, things like that. Another thing that he can't risk, honestly, if I lead off with this thing and he leads off with Klefki, he can't switch anything in anyway, unless he brings in, like, Seismitoad. Maybe, but if I'm Choice Banded, something else is going to take so much damage that it's not even funny, so he can't risk it if I lead off with this thing. So more than likely I'm going to lead off with this just to trap Klefki turn 1, because I could kind of see him going for spikes and things like that. If he paralyzes me, he paralyzes me. I'm running no speed investment, minus speed IVs, just so I can outslow the Porygon so he doesn't get analytic boost, so that's a plus. There's not a whole lot that this thing can't do to those 3 mons, and it's kind of sort of just a guaranteed kill on them if he leaves them in for 1 turn. So that's awesome. I like that plan. I think it's a cool plan. I think it's a really cool plan. And now that I'm totally not recording this on the next night because I didn't change my clothes at all. And yeah, so let's hop over to the rest of the team builder that I didn't edit out. And one last thing I forgot to mention. I wanted to run Sab Sipper. It's its hidden ability. It's illegal. I can't do it. So if he's Tail Glow with Energy Ball, he kills me anyway. So if he's Tail Glow, I can't stay in on it. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If he's Calm Mind with Energy Ball, then cool. What else are you going to be running? You can't run Rest, Rain Dance, Energy Ball with Calm Mind, because then how are you going to touch a Moongus? At all. I can sit there and just stall you out, and I will lose, and I will win because of the stall out, and it just doesn't make sense to me. So I don't think he'll be doing that at all. So I have to run Thick Fat because it's the only hidden ability that's decent with it. And if he wants to run like Ice Punch on Megalop, it's an easier switch in because of Garchomp and Amoonguss and Togetic and all that other fun nonsense. So yeah, so now back into the other team builder. So I'm going to be bringing my next mon, which is Togetic, as my cleric. Heal Bell, Defog, Roost, and Dazzling Gleam. Max HP, max defense, 12 and special defense. This is just a standard check to things like Megalop, like Dredigan. Unless he was running Gunk Shot, then he can do a lot of damage to me, which I think he might actually be bringing. This is not a good check to Thunderous whatsoever, so I'm kind of sort of screwed on that aspect. A +6 Manaphy's Timid Scald, if he has no boosting item, cannot one-shot me, so that's always nice. It's a little scary because I think he'll be bringing Modest with max HP, because he has nothing on my team that really he needs to speed creep, unless he wants to speed creep like a little bit of invested Garchomp for like a defensive chomp, because yeah, maybe that could be a thing, but I doubt it will be. I think I'll just bring like max HP, max special attack, Modest, and just punch holes through my team, which is kind of sort of scary. But this thing just kind of sort of just gets good chip damage off on his team and allows my meme for the team and my late game cleaner to just kind of sort of do its job. It also is really good because if I send this thing in on Klefki and I can Roost, I can Defog, I can Heal Bell, and I can Dazzling Limit, and eventually I will win 1v1 because he can't beat me with leftovers while I can dazzle. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So, I mean, I would have to get like a burn on him or something like that, but I could still do it pretty easily. So, since I knew that Manaphy was going to be a massive problem for my team, I'm bringing 2 designated like checks to it along with offensive checks to it because Manaphy is just a massive problem, and I'm trying to build around it a little bit better this season. The first answer that I'm bringing to it is going to be my main answer, and that is actually going to be my Electros. I'm bringing a max HP, max Def with an Assault Vest because it can live a +6 Modest Scald, which is nice. Dragon Tail, Knockoff, Giga Drain, and Thunderbolt. Dragon Tail is also there for the Thunderous because I could really see him bringing like Agility Nasty Plot with Thunderbolt and Psychic because that just does a shit ton of damage to my entire team. I don't really have switch-ins for that. Knockoff is there just for knockoff. I can knock off P2s of Violet. I can knock off leftovers of Klefki, things of that nature. Giga Drain and Thunderbolt. I wanted to run Flamethrower for the Klefki so I could have another answer for it, but ultimately I do not want to have to rely on this thing for Klefki. I want to rely on this thing for Manaphy and Manaphy alone. Thunderbolt does massive damage to it, and it allows my Infernape to come in and get more damage off on it with close combat, and it could eventually be a 1v1 if I pressure him to attack me instead of like rest rain dancing, if you know what I mean. Giga Drain is there specifically just for Seismitoad. I don't think it'll be bringing Seismitoad whatsoever, but I have to have it just in case. And yeah, just a good answer to Manaphy. I'm bringing Thunderbolt over Thunder Punch because if he's Fizz Def with Calm Mind, I want to be able to Dragon Tail it out and Thunderbolt it before he can set up enough Calm Minds, so that's a thing. And the fact that this kind of sort of does more damage than Thunder Punch would if he's physically defensive. So yeah, my next check to it is going to be obvious, and that's going to be Amoonguss. He's going to know it's coming, and it's my second specially defensive Assault Vested Mon with Clear Smog, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Foul Play with Regenerator. This thing is pretty obvious as well, but this is going to be my main check to Thunderous, because if he wants to run like Hidden Power Ice or Psychic or something of that nature, I can still take 2 of them, I can Sludge Bomb it and put him in range of other things on the team and make it so he's not that big of a threat or as much of a threat, and I could put him in range for other things, so that's always nice. Especially if he's not Scarfed, he can outspeed my Infernape or like my other thing. My Garchomp. that's the word I was looking for. But Clear Smog, Sludge Bomb. Clear Smog is obviously there for Manaphy because if he's the defensive Calm Mind, Rest, Rain Dance with Scald only, he can't really do much to me, and I can Clear Smog and Giga Drain and beat him 1v1 if I have to, and Sludge Bomb poison him to force him to rest and Rain Dance more often than he really wants to, so that's always a plus. Also, with this thing, I'd be able to get him to a chip damage amount to where my Infernape could actually revenge kill him after 1 Giga Drain if he's like Tail Glow. Because even if he's Tail Glow with Ice Beam, he has to be up to +6 before he can kill me. And I doubt I'll let him get up to +6 if I'm just being honest. And if I do, he'll be taking a massive amount of damage in the process. So that's always a good thing. The next mod on the team I want to go over is actually, I'm flying through this team builder. Holy shit, I'm actually proud of myself because I kind of am, okay, just for you guys to know, I've had a really bad day and I kind of just want to get some videos ready to record so I don't have to stress myself that much this weekend, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now, but it's kind of just helped me get my mind off of things. So, the meme of the team is Reuniclus, running Magic Guard with a Flame Orb with Trick, Calm Mind, Recover, and Psyshock. Now, I realize what you might be thinking, why are you running Flame Orb with Trick? Okay, so here's my thought process. His main answer for Calm Mind Reuniclus is going to be Haze on Skuntank. It's his favorite move. I know he's going to be bringing Haze on Skuntank just for this thing. I think he might also be bringing Taunt with like Pursuit, maybe Crunch, and Poison Jab to hit my Togetic, but that's 5 moves, so one of them has to be left out. If one of them left out is Taunt, then that means I can trick this thing pretty fucking easily, and that means he can't really do a whole lot to me, and that means he's going to get burnt. If he does taunt me, that's less than ideal. However, I can still trick something else. Like I can trick the Klefki, get burns on that, trick the Crobat, which will also probably have taunt because he said before that he thinks my team is just taunt bait, which whatever, I don't really give a shit. I have 2 Mons this game that are kind of sort of taunt bait, but not really. And I could trick just so many things. I could trick away Porygon 2's a Violet. I could give the Violet something else. I could give the Manaphy the Flame Orb instead of the leftovers. Now he's taking more damage, and I could trick so many things, and I could just shuffle around his items and really fuck him up, which I think that would slowly mess him up and kind of sort of mess with his head a little bit. But my main goal is to trick a Flame Orb onto the Porygon, onto the Skuntank. I will take its Black Sludge, because he can't be bringing Assault Vest because he's going to have Haze or Taunt, one of the two. I know for a fact it's what it is. So once I can trick that, I'll have a Black Sludge. I won't be affected by it because of Magic Guard, and then I can trick the Black Sludge onto, say, the Manaphy, and then I can trick and say I get leftovers from that. I can trick the leftovers onto the Porygon 2, which will take away its Violate. While yes, it'll still have leftovers, it's not as bulky. Then Close Combat just does a shit ton of damage, and if he has any damage on it at all, Close Combat will kill. And then if I take away its Violate, I can trick the Violate onto the Klefki, and then the Klefki doesn't have leftovers, so I can just switch around all of his items. And believe it or not, that strategy is actually really cool, because while it may not seem like a lot, take away Skuntank's Black Sludge. He has no reliable recovery. Trick Black Sludge onto Manaphy or onto Porygon 2. Either it's not as bulky or it's not getting the recovery that it wants, and it's taking damage compared to what it would. Take the leftovers and trick it onto, say, the Porygon 2. It's not as bulky, it's not living as many hits. Then trick the Violet onto Klefki. Klefki no longer has reliable recovery, and then you're screwed. The only downside to this is if I trick a leftovers onto something like the Manaphy, or I trick a leftovers onto something like the Thundurus. That's less than ideal. Or I trick a Rocky Helmet onto Porygon 2. That would be less than ideal as well, but overall, just tricking around his items would be really cool. And he doesn't have much for Calm Mind, Reuniclus outside of Skuntank or Taunt on Crobat or Haze on Crobat. So if by some chance I trick a Flame Orb onto this thing and he doesn't have Taunt or Haze, or say he does, I can still set up on it 110%, because if I get one Calm Mind up, then Dark Pulse is easily not a 2-hit KO. Without it, it's depending if he's Modest Max Special Attack or not. I'm kind of expecting him to have Pursuit, because once I see it come in, I'm not going to want to stay in on it, so that's when I can trick it, so that'll be cool. There's just a lot that I can do with this thing, but ultimately I don't think that he has very good answers for Calm Mind Reuniclus. Also, if I'm able to burn myself, that means that Klefki cannot paralyze me with Thunder Wave, and then I have a very good switch into Thunder Waves on Klefki, and then I can set up on Klefki and 4 switches on his team, and I think that'd be really cool. The one downside is if he's Fizz Def Manaphy, and I set up alongside of his Manaphy, it might be hard for me to beat it 1v1, but I think I might be able to do it in the end. It would just be very hard, and it would be a very long match, and I really don't want to have that. I just don't. But ultimately, this will be cool. This will be a lot of fun. The final one on the team is Late Game Cleaner, and I'm actually going for Scarf Garchomp this week with Outrage, EQ, Fire Fang, and Stone Edge. May change it to Rock Slide, but Stone Edge just does a shit ton of damage to Crobat, even if he's defensive. It does like 49% minimum if he's defensive Crobat, which is really nice, so then he can't switch in on it. And it also just completely OHKOs the Thundurus switch if he's expecting EQ, yeah. Fire Fang is there mainly for the Klefki, because most Garchomps, they run Flamethrower or Fire Blast. However, I'm choice Scarfed. I'd rather just run Fire Fang, because, yeah. Fully expect him to have Klefki with Magnet Rise. That's going to be a thing. So I would rather not lock myself into EQ against a person that has a Crobat, a Magnet Rising Klefki, and a Thundurus, and 4 switch-ins to a Thundurus, because I have no switch-ins to a Thundurus, so that's just painful and hard to think about. I don't like thinking about that. But ultimately, this thing, if I can whittle his team down, I'll outspeed basically everything on his team, aside from, like, actually, no, I'd even outspeed the Scarfers that he could bring. I will outspeed everything on his team, which is really cool. And once Klefki's gone, nothing likes Outrages. Like, even max HP Manaphy still does not like Outrages. Like, I realize that he could live 1, maybe 2, depending on his investment in HP, but it still won't like it, and then it's an easy revenge kill for Infernape, and I think Infernape might actually be my late game cleaner compared to this thing, depending on how the match goes, but I really do like the way this thing matches up. I like the way it looks on paper. I think it'll be pretty cool. I haven't done any test matches just because I've had a shitty week, and I really like this team. I think I came up with a pretty decent plan, especially I think having the meme of tricking around all of his items and kind of sort of having his own items that he's bringing mess with him. I think that'll be pretty cool. Another downside to having Trick on Reuniclus is if I trick away an Assault Vest from Skuntank. But then he can't have Haze or Taunt, and I don't think he's that stupid. I don't think he's that stupid at all. For a long time, I strongly considered Nasty Pass Togetic into Infernape, because I can live so many hits. Nasty Plot into Infernape with Vacuum Wave and Flamethrower, and just do so much damage to his entire team, but there's a couple things that I can't touch, and that's less than ideal, so yep. Like, I wouldn't do enough damage to the Porygon 2, which I don't like not doing damage to a Porygon 2. I'd rather just completely destroy Porygon 2. So, that's the thing. But that's the team. I really enjoyed it. I think it'll do pretty well. I'm just aiming to not get 6-0'd, basically. If I lose to him, it's whatever. He's one of the best in the format, in my opinion, for a reason. Like, I've said this for a couple videos, and people probably think it's just because I'm sucking ass to him, but realistically, he drafts what he's comfortable with. He knows how to draft what he's comfortable with, and he knows how to use it. And he loses a lot because of crits and stuff like that. So if they didn't happen, he probably would be at the top of the table. So if I lose, I'm not going to be ashamed. Schadt is an awesome battler and an awesome person. Honestly, he's a really good friend of mine, and I have a lot of respect for him. So good luck, Schadt, if you're watching this. If not, whatever. I don't expect you to, because you hate me. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, and go check out Schatt's channel. We're basically neck and neck with subscribers. I think we're basically the same person. I think we came out of the same mom. I think he might be me. So, yep. Go check him out. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.